So here we go then, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Kings of Anglia Fan Social, the show where the KOA Army share their thoughts on all things Town. And it's been exciting, hasn't it, at Town? New signing, Jack Taylor. The kits are out, home and away. The boys are back in town. Pre-season is underway. Their first game, of course, at Felixstowe, which was a great afternoon down the seaside. I'm joined by good old Wazza and Bono to discuss all things Town. Of course, podcast proudly sponsored by Manscaped and Ginger Pickle. Shout out to Tony Southgate and the team there for your Google SEO needs. And of course, Manscaped below the grooming needs and all that sort of stuff. Wazza, my friend, always a pleasure. I've been able to bump into you pretty much every week because we play five-a-side together. So it's always a pleasure to see you. But I see you anyway. But how's things?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Sort of gone into a state of hibernation without football. Sort of get wheeled out for my weekly KOA five-a-side meeting, and then promptly disappear again for another week. But yeah, no, it's been good. Obviously, it's I've been missing trekking halfway across the country, so Sunderland cannot come quickly enough. But yeah, no, been good. Thanks for having me on, and yeah, thanks for being here.
Tom, man, yeah, I think when the fixtures dropped the other week, everyone was like, it's getting closer. And now when the kits are out, and both for Bono and Wazza are wearing them beautifully. Of course, we'll get onto that in a bit. Of course, audio viewers, you can't see, but video people, you can see, can't you? And they look beautiful. Bono, you're wearing the away kit, looking very good, very fetching, my friend. How's things with you? You got your football fix back now, definitely with the kits. I know you're a big kit man, so I'm sure you feel that's another little tick off the list before the big kickoff.
Oh, hi. Yeah, it's great to be back. Thanks for having me on. For those watching in black and white, I'm wearing the orange kit, which is just remarkable. I know we're gonna talk about that later, but yeah, I mean, it only seemed like yesterday when the fixture release day seems so far away. Obviously, we've had that. The boys have been back in pre-season friendly a week, and obviously we have played our first pre-season against Felixstowe and Walton United. So yeah, as Matt said, roll on Sunderland.
Indeed. Well, let's not beat around the bush then, boys. Let's talk about the kits because they dropped Saturday morning just before the Felixstowe game. People were lining the streets near Planet Blue to get their hands on them. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, Wazza and Bono have got their hands on them too. Wazza, I go over to you, my friend. Your overall thoughts. Just what was your thoughts when you first saw the screenshots or the video? What did you think straight away about the home and the away kit?
Start with the home kit, just because got it on. I really like it. I have one very slight complaint with it, and it's very minor, which is on the sleeve. I wish this white section went all the way down. I don't like how it breaks off at the cuff, but apart from that, I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I think it looks even better in person. Obviously, I saw it on Saturday morning when it went onto Twitter and Facebook, Instagram, all of that, and then I happened to be in Ipswich, and I went down to Planet Blue, saw the kit, and I was like, yeah, it's a real winner. My webcam won't do it justice, but there's some subtle sort of different blues on the body that I think sort of helps to break it up. And I think it's a really nice sort of throwback, I guess, to that sort of turn of the century kit without looking out of place in the modern game. I think sometimes, these retro look kits can look a bit too retro, whereas I think this is a nice sort of modern take on it. I've heard a lot of people saying, there's only so much you can do with a blue and white kit, but ultimately that means there's not a whole lot to go wrong, and I don't mind that. So yeah, I'm a real big fan of it. I think it looked brilliant in person, and definitely a darn sight better on the players than it does on me sat in my bed eating a kebab. So.
No, mate, you look good, and as I've been saying, it is definitely a grower. When I first saw it, I was like, very 50-50. But since I've seen it in person, seen fans wear it, seen the players wear it, taking pictures of it, It's growing on me. I'm still not completely going, yes, beautiful yet. Although normally I do fall in love with an Ipswich Town shirt. I just normally do because I love blue. Bono, we'll get onto the away shirt in a bit because you're wearing it. But your thoughts on the home kit? And yeah, I think the good thing about Umbro, it is unique to us, isn't it? Like, of course, Adidas, of course, I'm an Adidas boy. They are templates, but at least with Umbro, it just feels unique, don't it? Your thoughts on the home kit?
Well, yeah, as you alluded to, I'm a bit of a kit nerd. I've always, just for some reason, I've just always obsessed with them. Probably due in no small part, I just like them, really. I don't care what club that they are. If they've got a nice kit, they've got a nice kit. If the kit is a bit not very good, then it's not very good. But our one, let's get back to the question in hand. Our one is superb. The home kit, like Wazza said, it's a nice. It's based. So the way I see it, right, and I'm no expert, but I probably could do mastermind for like football kits or something. Maybe it's a nice. It's a modern take. It's a fresh feel on two of our retro kits. Obviously the Green King promotion kit when we went up via the playoffs. That's the white kind of yoke at the top on the sleeves. And also Matt touched upon the different types of blue. Well, and a geek like me would call that sublimination. And the sublimination is from the first kit of the Premier League. It's very, 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 very similar. Obviously, we all saw like rumours, and various people said, "Oh, I've seen it, and it's this." Well, you know what? A lot of the stuff I heard, it's nothing like what I was kind of told. Really, it's a grower on me for sure. I went with the away, which we'll obviously touch upon in a minute, purely because I got loads of blue shirts and I don't have many orange ones. But yeah, the blue one, I just think, let's just hope that this forthcoming championship campaign is going to be one to remember, and we can look fondly upon that kit, because we've had some really nice kits in the past, and like the season's not really meant anything. So I kind of think they kind of fall into kind of just like the dustbin of history, really, don't they? But yeah, the home kit is really, really, really nice. I mean, I went down Planet Blue yesterday about 3:30, 3:45, took the family with me, got a nice little free wristband. Thank you very much. And yeah, it was great. It was flying off the shelves. And what have we sold? Did we sell 8,000 or 4,000 kits yesterday? Yeah, something like that. I think the club have just come out and said something like that. Obviously, £2 from each kit sold goes to the Derby Rimmer Foundation and motor neurone disease, which obviously the club legend Marcus Stewart is currently battling with. Just want to touch upon quickly, actually, the kit launch. I thought it was really, really nice. Something a little bit different as well. We've seen some quite funny ones over the years. Obviously, you had the tractor one. I think it was J. Emmanuel Thomas and someone else. I can't remember. Josh Carson.
Carlos Edwards was part.
Carlos Edwards was it the Mitre kit?
Yes,
I think it was the Mitre kit, wasn't it?
I think maybe that was Mix. Well, no, it's under Paul Jewell. Sorry, I think. Yeah,
I don't think we'd. I mean, that was very much of its time, wasn't it? I don't think we'd ever. I think we've come on as a club and as a fan base since then, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kit launch. Obviously, you got Martin Reuser as well, just looking beautiful in Amsterdam, sun shining. Shane stuff in his sexy accent, and yeah. But yeah, should we talk? Let's talk about the away kit, shall we?
Yeah. I want to also mention, of course, last year kit is a big bar, weren't it? They raised the bar so high. So this year was always going to be a challenge. And I think they took that challenge, the club, and they've done an okay job. As I said, I was very, very 50-50, and it's still got to grow on me. So we'll wait and see. Wazza has frozen. So we're going to have a pause here, ladies and gentlemen, so we can fix that freeze. So we're back in a bit to talk about the away kit, Bono. But let's sort out Wazza. And we're back. Wazza is back. He's been unfrozen because he wants to talk about the orange kit. The orange away kit, Wazza. Your thoughts on it, my friend? We've had orange kit for many years. Of course, we had Dutch players before as well. But yeah, your thoughts on the orange kit, which looks very good.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely brilliant. I was saying before we were sort of recording, but one of my favourite kits when I was growing up was, I think it was sort of like 04, 5, 6 sort of time. Orange kit with the small Ipswich crests in the stitching. And so I think with having such a good orange kit back then, it's always made me quite like them. There's, of course, I think an old Fison's one from the 90s with a sort of wave pattern in it, which is, again, an absolutely sensational kit. Throws back, I think Bono's trying to say, to one he's wearing there. Even in recent sort of times, granted that was a rubbish season and the sponsor ruined it, but we did have that orange kit in the relegation season, which, as a kit, if you take the ridiculous logo off the front, was really nice. Yeah, I think it's a real winner. It's got that sort of, again, that subtle patterning going throughout the body on it. I'm not going to use the big word that Bono used because I've already forgotten it. But yeah, it's just a real winner. The black, I think, detailing on it, yeah, it just makes it really sort of pop. It looks really crisp. So yeah, I think it's going to be an absolute winner, and you guarantee there will be some random fans will turn up to somewhere this season. They'll be absolutely rattled for very little reason about the fact we've turned up in a day glow orange kit. So yeah, any little victories, I suppose, but no, it's absolutely brilliant. I'll be getting my hands on that hopefully soon enough. Yeah, 2 absolutely solid 8 out of 10 for me. Don't think you can go wrong. And hopefully, as Bono said, it's going to be a season where we look back and these kits will be immortalised in Ipswich Town folklore, as I guess last season will be. So yeah, winners for me.
Yeah, hopefully that will be the case. And yeah, I think that's the good word. They're solid efforts. Bono, your thoughts then on these away kit? One thing that was during, of course, when I was at Felixstowe on Saturday, I was trying to look out for fans who were wearing the new kits, and the away kit, I kept seeing orange, but then there were stewards. So I was like, oh no, that's a steward. So that's maybe the only little funny thing about it. But mate, you're wearing it right now. Thoughts on it? Sort of model it for us, please. Okay.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Sublimation. It's the same kind of like a pattern within a pattern that was on the promotion kit 91 when we won the old second division.
Sorry.
Yeah, second division going up to the Premier League, and yeah, we secured promotion in that kit, didn't we? At Southend, I think. Was it Steve Whitten or somebody? I don't know. I was 9.
Phil Whelan scored and Neil Thompson scored.
That's it. Yeah, that's when I just started getting into Ipswich, actually, that kind of era. So show my age a little bit. Yeah, this away kit, man, is just absolutely beautiful. The detailing is very, very dark navy blue. It's sumptuous. And I can see us having like a second away pair of shorts that are this like really, really inky blue. Because obviously the kit is all orange. The home and the away socks are exactly the same design, but obviously just different colors. But yeah, no, I picked this up yesterday. I've not got it printed. I'm still in 2 minds. Do I get Tarico 3, Holland 8, or Ulenbig 7, or one of the new players? But there's always a bit of trepidation about getting a current player before the season starts. They might leave. What if we get Morsey 5 and Sunderland come in with a 10 mil bid next week? And a lot of my friends are Arsenal fans, and some of them got stung when Vieira left, and they'd all bought the new Arsenal shirt with Vieira 4 on the back. But yeah, I don't think Sam Morsey's going to go. In fact, little peek behind the curtain, the club are not printing current players' names and numbers until the squad number list is released, which is obviously something that we all fondly remember Andy Warren for talking about in pre-season, the big squad number release. If you're a nerd like me, that's just as important as Christmas and Easter. But yeah, the orange kit, and I think we're going to be wearing this a lot. And there's going to be no kit crimes. There's going to be no unnecessary usage, because a lot of teams play in blue in this championship, don't they? So yeah,
Well, we shall see. I've actually got a picture of me in an orange shirt. I just thought I'd share it. I think I shared it on my socials before the big game against Exeter. But yeah, little Roscoe in the orange kit, Green King. With my big head of mine. If you, of course, on audio you can't see, but I did put it on the socials. But when those kit came out, I did think of that kit. I also thought of the kit that was mentioned about the Power Gen orange kit. Because I used to live in that. I've got it still at home, but it doesn't fit because it was when I was 6. So I'm sorry to bring my age up there, but yeah, it's been another successful sort of launch for the club, as you both mentioned. Definitely the video, as you said, it was great that they got Marcus Stewart involved, Martin Royster involved, Matty Holland, of course. He also modelled the shirt as well, and he looked very good indeed. So yeah, props to the club as always. Well, let's mention also we also saw the new goalkeeping kit as well. Christian Walton, Vlaka Kalanki, and Nick Hayes wore it on Saturday. Also, we've seen the new training kit as well, which looks good. But yeah, any thoughts on that? Either of you that fussed about goalkeeping kits? Are you that fussed about training kits? Bono, all right, mate, let's go over to you.
Yeah, of course I don't know whether you're fussed about it. Of course I am. I love kits because I'm sad. But yeah, goalkeeper kit. I don't know. Yeah, it's nice. Like you've said, Ross, in the green room, I think it is a little bit of an upgrade from last year. However, seeing teams like AFC Wimbledon get bespoke goalkeeper kits, I don't know whether this one is a template one. I'm sad. I have looked at the Umbro teamwear collection for this coming season, and it's not in it. And I noticed that the kind of coral / burnt salmon color on the trim is the same as the lovely O'Donnell / mint kind of Listerine training kit that we have. They're probably just going to call it Aqua, aren't they? But yeah, incidentally, at Planet Blue, there is a little bit of the new benchwear range in, and they have benchwear in the away colours. So this orange and navy, they've got some Umbro stuff with like a little subtle Ipswich badge kind of on a hem, I believe they call it. So yeah, it's all looking good. You know what? If you're sad like me and you take an active interest in kits, some people play chess, other people collect stamps. If you're like me, you just obsess over kits, buy loads, end up selling them on Depop and Vinted for a fraction of what you spent. So yeah.
Like it. Yeah, and I think with Umbro, it's a massive upgrade. Like, even though I'm an Adidas boy, and I wear a lot of Adidas for football kits, Umbro, even just the other clubs like Brentford and Co. Like, some of the stuff they brought out, some of the kits this year have been unbelievable. Some not so great. One of these days, I'm sure we'll do a kit ranking of the championship clubs. We'll probably get that. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure. Although Andy's now moved on, someone has to take over that crown of ranking kits. So watch this space, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Bono, you never know, my friend. Well, any other business? Any other business on the kits, or shall we move on to Felixstowe signings and all that jazz?
Yeah, like say, goalkeeper kits, what it is for me, and so yeah, I think I've said my part. I'm happy with the ones that I'm going to see my team playing, and that's that's the main thing for me.
Definitely, my friend. Well, sounds good. Well, let's talk then quickly, because it's pre-season. Can't really read much into these games, but the boys were back on the grass throughout the week, of course, but also made their return to 60 minutes of football, 30 minutes for 2 different 11s, down at Felixstowe at the AGL Arena. 6-0 win. Fredo Dapo scoring 2 goals. Completely forgot about the other goal scorers, so that's all I'm going to say about that. But all of you know, you can find it out on the website and all that stuff. But yeah, a good little run out. Was another great day in terms of the community. Going to a non-league club, Felixstowe, of course, the host of the Ipswich Town women's team, so that's another good little connection there. But just like last year against Needham, this year once again, a great day for the community. Fans packing it out. The new kit was there, so so many times I just walked through that turnstile and went, new kit. And it's just great to see. But yeah, your thoughts on the day as a whole, because it's just a great day for the community, for fans to see the players really up close and personal.
Yeah, I think that's the main sort of takeaway. I mean, let's not take too much away from beating a Felixstowe side where several of their players, I think by their manager's own admission, weren't there some of which because they were on stag do's or holidays and all sorts. Proper non-league was how I think he described it. So, but yeah, like you say, goals from Ladapo, minutes for Edmondson and Kamara, who scored, of course. I think Jackson grabbed a goal as well, Kyle Edwards. So it's just a really, like you say, it's a really nice thing for the community. I mean, ultimately, it is a bit of a reward, I would say, and a bit of a thank you to Felixstowe for hosting the women's team all season, which they've done. I assume sort of voluntarily almost. They'll get some money through the bar, and it's just really nice, isn't it, to see everyone coming together and just having a day where you're watching football and there's no real pressure on it, which often isn't the case for Ipswich. So yeah, really, really lovely day in the sunshine, and I hope that's something we're going to keep doing going forward, be it at Felixstowe, Needham, Bury Town, whoever that may be. Because as much as we're looking forward to the new season in the Championship, we've always been a club that does want to look after the sort of local scene, the Suffolk football scene. So yeah, really pleased with that. Hope we keep doing it going forward. And minutes in the legs, that's the main thing. Fitness exercise, isn't it? 60 minutes, 30 minutes each. Job done.
Pretty much. But yeah, I just love because it's so, Felixstowe is so tight down there, but it was great to see McKenna and the players really mixing with the fans, having autographs, taking pictures, before and after the game. Just after the game, all the players went round, most of the players anyway, because it was a bit chaotic because it was such a small dressing room, such a small little space. It was, of course, you've got 2 different 11s for Town. But yeah, it was just a great day, great afternoon. Bono, there's some good returning players as well. Players returning from injury. George Edmondson, we haven't seen him for a while. Panucci Kamara, Lee Evans. Who else have I forgot?
Harness.
Yeah, Harness as well. I just said everyone was there pretty much. Wes Burns, Broadhead, they were there, but they didn't play. Cameron Burgess was there as well, but didn't play. Jack Taylor, of course, we'll get onto him shortly. He wasn't there. Because he's still got that. He's just basically like the Wes Burns Broadhead sort of situation where he's been on international duty, so he's not back properly until next week. But yeah, just good to see Elkin Baggett back from his loan as well. He played. Don Ball played. I'm just name checking all the players now, but yeah, it was just good to see players getting some legs. Don Ball played actually centre half, which was interesting. And yeah, Ladapo scoring 2 goals, which is always good for a striker to get off the mark straight off the bat. Shawnee Aluko, that's another player. That's the other player I was thinking about. He made his return to action because he played against Burnley, didn't he, in the FA Cup? And then we didn't see him again for ages. But yeah, he was his normal self. He was looking good, Shawnee Aluko, because he's a great player. Off, of course, signing a new contract. But yeah, Bono, your thoughts on that and just seeing the returning players?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go. I couldn't go. I had other life commitments yesterday, sadly, which were in the diary well before that fixture was announced. I like that little ground. I've been there to see the women's team a few times. The pitch looked absolutely phenomenal. Hopefully the sweet shop and the bar did a roaring trade yesterday as well. It is good to see those returning players. I mean, I won't name check them again, but like you and Waz has said, it's all about minutes in the legs, and pretty much that's all what pre-season is important. You can't pay too much attention to results really at this stage. We just want the players to get up to speed, ready for August when we make that journey up to the Sunderland on that Sunday for that 5 o'clock kickoff. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it just felt and looked like a really, really nice day. Gives people a chance to get up close and personal, meet their heroes. I mean, it looked like there was a lot of young families and stuff there. And I guess if you go to Portman Road every other week and you're sat up in the upper tiers, the closest you get is like, feels like half a mile away sometimes, doesn't it? But the fact that you can kind of almost get within touching distance of the first team and just seeing them be put through their paces and stuff. So yeah, I mean, like I said previously, this pre-season's come around really, really quickly. Obviously, we've got another pre-season friendly this Friday, so technically a home game at Bloomfields against Maidenhead United. I think it's very strange playing a home friendly against a National League Maidenhead. We might even see, we might see the orange kit, and I really, really hope we do. Obviously, Maidenhead playing black and white stripes, black shorts and red socks. Oh no, I'm going off at a tangent again about kits, aren't I? Just want to touch upon something actually, Ross. You mentioned the players that have been on international duty that didn't play. These international breaks in the close season absolutely grip my stuff. It's just let the players rest. Even though, yes, they're professional athletes and they're at the pinnacle of their game and they're very, very fit, they still need a bit of off time. And the fact that a lot of these guys had like a week and a half, 10 days, 2 weeks off, then they're away, and then they come back for a little bit, and then they start again. It's just pointless. Let's just give football a rest. Let's just let cricket shine. Let cricket shine for a little bit. Sorry, it's going off at a tangent there.
No, I completely agree with you, mate, because it is crazy. Definitely when, I think, who was it? Some of the players who played in the Champions League final then were playing, I think, 4 days later in, their friendly or whatever for their country. And you think how exhausted they are, because I think there are some players who won the Champions League and there's some players who lost the Champions League. So it's crazy. But I don't think it's ever going to change, is it? Because football, games. It's just, mad. What's up?
Do we really care for the third and fourth place playoff in the Nations League? Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but it's just games for TV channels and stuff to make money. But we can go into that more in depth. But we won't, ladies and gentlemen. We won't do that because we want to talk about Jack Taylor, the first signing of the summer, and I'm also going to ask Worrall and Bono their thoughts on what's next on the agenda in terms of signings. Of course, we sort of know positions we want to strengthen in, but I'm going to get you guys to guess who you reckon will be next for the door. I don't have to tell you the name, but just the position you think. But quick thoughts, Jack Taylor signing midfielder from Posh. It's now been a good week now since he's signed, but thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, initially, my first thoughts were how much traffic there is for Jack in that sort of midfield role. I think before, of course, Harper departed. Was it 9 senior midfielders on the book? That's certainly a lot of competition in that role. But I think when you sort of start to rationalise it, you think El Mizuni might go out on loan, Humphreys probably go out on loan, Harper, like you say, has now departed. It does sort of start to whittle down, doesn't it? And it's a player that McKenna has wanted, obviously, at least since January, if not before. We heard from the Posh camp about the moves that Ipswich had made. Yeah, the 3 bids that Ipswich had made, but obviously they were somewhere part in the valuation. And, we saw it with George Hurst, didn't we, where McKenna wanted him all through last summer and tried to chase him, didn't get him, made the move through in January. Kind of seen the reverse line Hurst Taylor, where wanted him in January, made the approach, Posh dug in, we've now got him. Stu ran a piece, didn't he, saying that we're going to play him in a bit more of an advanced position, and I think that's fair enough. I think for all of Jack's qualities as a box-to-box midfielder, and I'm not going to say I'm the world's greatest expert on Jack Taylor, but from what I've seen of him, he does have that box-to-box quality. We do need more goals from midfield. It is an area where we sometimes lacked. I know Morsey chips in with a couple and Luongo did in the second half of the season, but if you can get Taylor regularly scoring from the centre of the park, then that's certainly no bad thing. I find it quite interesting. One of my first thoughts when we signed him was thinking back on the playoffs that they, of course, ultimately lost against Sheffield Wednesday, where it felt like pretty much everything Posh did went through Taylor. It seemed that they were using him both as a pivot, sort of sitting in front of the defence, but also using him to carry the ball. They were popping the ball into him. He was just immediately popping it off, getting it back, and then flicking it out wide, trying to find them space. So I think when you've got a player that is playing such an integral role, it can only be a good thing to have a player with that kind of quality, can't it? So, yeah, I think it's a positive one. And, you know, who am I to argue with Kieran McKenna about who we should be recruiting? So, yeah, I'm pleased with that. And I think Jack should be a very good addition.
Yeah, and of course another big, I won't say massive fee, but it's still a good fee. I think 1.5 million, I think, is a reported thing. So spent a bit of money on him, but he's a definite player that was always destined to play championship football this season because he's been one of the best League One footballers for the last few seasons. Bono, I'm going to ask you two questions here because it sort of links up about midfielders because, Raheem Harper, of course, left the club, part of the Mutual Consent FC. He's now joined Burton in League One, which I think is a good move for him. Of course, he's sort of back near where he's from as well, so probably ideal for him. But your thoughts on Jack Taylor, but also Raheem Harper leaving, so that sort of I wouldn't say fills the void because there's still loads of midfielders there, but it's sort of one midfielder gone and another midfielder coming in.
So Raheem, the dream Harper, didn't really work out. Bit gutted for him because he looked like he had everything. I remember seeing him at Dartford when I think about a week or so after he signed, the real kind of start of the kind of Paul Cook game changer era, wasn't it? Back then in Kent. He just never really got going, did he? It's going to be quite costly to us, but you know, you need to speculate to accumulate. Not all transfers work out, do they? Especially when you sign, 18, 19 players like we did in that window. It's a real shame. Obviously, there's the human element as well. It's very, very easy to just dismiss these professionals and just say, oh, he was crap. But at the end of the day, you know, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. This guy 5-6 years ago was being linked with teams like Juventus, Celtic, Man U and Liverpool. The articles are out there. You know, that speculation was real. He was being hyped up. I think he's one of the youngest ever Premier League players as well, I think. Didn't work out with us, which is a shame, as I've said. And yeah, gets released. Nice little payoff in his back pocket. And he's gone to Burton Albion at the Pirelli Stadium. Yeah, let's hope it works out. He might set the world on fire and get £1 million transfer in the January window. You never know. Stranger things have and will happen. But yeah, Jack Taylor, obviously he didn't set the world alight, did he? Again, in the 2 games against us last year. I think that's more down to us than it was to him, possibly. You know, him being cancelled out by a very, very solid midfield. He looks an absolutely cracking player, though, doesn't he? And I think we've been missing that kind of Matt Holland, Tommy Miller-esque type marauder. Obviously, we've seen it in kind of waves, haven't we? With Morsey and Luongo and Evans to a very, very small extent. Be very interested to see where he's going to fit. Obviously, there's been a little bit of chat already to say that he's going to be more advanced, which is fantastic. I was looking at the club website earlier. I've got it up now. We've actually got 9 midfielders in the first team kind of profiles. So you've got Sam Morsey, Wes Burns, Lee Evans, Dominic Ball, Idris El Mazzini, Massimo Luongo, Panucci, Amadou Pereira, Kamara, Cam Humphreys, and Jack Taylor. So yeah, that's 9. I'm quite interested
Wes Burns though is more of a winger, isn't he? Really? So I think maybe they put him there because I don't know. I thought he was a forward, maybe. But
shall I read out the forwards? Because there's been a few people saying that, oh my God, Freddie Ladapo is the only forward we've got. Well, the club have named 7 on the website. Big Fred, my boy, Fred again, Freddie Ladapo, Connor Chaplin, Marcus Harness, Caden Jackson, Shawnee Aluko, Carl Edwards, and Nathan Broadband. So yeah, it's just. We have got strength and depth in the offensive line, haven't we, as they say over the pond. But yeah, no, Jack Taylor, he looks like a player. I liked what you said on the main pod last week, Ross. You're like, he looks like a footballer. He's got tattoos and a haircut, and I'm like, he has. So yeah, be interesting to see what squad number he gets if you're that way inclined. Yeah, just be really interested to see where he fits. Does he slot in as part of that kind of front three, or does he partner Sam Morsey or Massimo Luongo in the centre? But this is the exciting thing about pre-season. Lots of speculation. Will we even have the same shape? That 4-2-3-1, 5-2-3 type dynamic, movable smorgasbord that we had last year. That was just so encapsulating in League One last year.
Yeah, it was going to be interesting. Yeah, and I think when you look at the profiles on our website, you just never know, because, yeah, technically most of them are forwards, but they're not like number 9, are they? Technically, we've only really got Freddie Ladapo and, of course, Joe Pigott as the number 9, because the rest they're forward players, but they're more on the wing and all that. But let's not get into that, because that's just another conversation for another day. But the next question, really, and it sort of segues actually nicely over to that, Bono. What's next, do you reckon? The next position was we've been linked with different players. Of course, McKenna's come out and said sometimes this speculation, some of it's wrong. But as fans, as podcasts, you love these sort of things, don't you? You love rumours, you love the speculation. Ellis Sims has been linked. Sam Sturridge has been linked recently. Craig Cuffcott has been linked, who's been a defender, Watford defender, a former Watford defender, has been linked as well. But what do you reckon was putting your on the line, the next signing? Who's going to be the second summer signing in terms of position? You don't have to tell me the player, because that's going to be hard to guess, but position-wise, what do you reckon?
It just makes sense for it to be a striker, I think, doesn't it? I think there was an interesting development today where it looks as though Kelechi Iheanacho is going to move over to Nottingham Forest on a reported deal, which I suppose would free up Sam Surridge to then move out. And he's always been, a player that I've always heard good things about, although I haven't seen much of him, I will admit. But I think, if you look through the team, every position apart from striker, you can name a handful of players that can play there. So I think, it just makes sense to bring in a sort of typical number 9. I think the Ellis Sims transfer saga will rumble on. He's a player I'm quite keen on. Having spoke to one of my friends who supports Sunderland, he said he'd be a real good addition at this level for whoever gets him. So, I've got an endorsement there. But I'd be very surprised if within the next couple of days we don't see, or maybe this week anyway, if we don't see a forward come in. Of course, there is that sort of ongoing link with Rak-Saki as well. But for me, with the players we've got, that addition of another wide man isn't quite as pressing as someone to leave the line through the middle. So hopefully we'll see someone come in. But then again, we will need one. But then again, Big Fred, he is... he did the business for us last season. He did fairly well, I'm led to believe, in a Rotherham side that got relegated from the Championship. So, as much as we're going to need cover, could Big Fred be the main man? Mark Beck will certainly hope so.
Indeed, my friend. And one thing you mentioned about if there is a signing this week, I hope it happens a few days after this podcast drops. That's the worst thing. We finished the pod, 5 minutes later, they've signed. So if you are listening, we have signed a striker. Great.
Before we came on, I did put notifications for Ipswich tweets on my phone just in case the klaxon went off. But So far, no movement as of yet.
Because I think the last time we actually did a fan social, I think that's when Chaplin signed. I think that's the last time we did a fan social. Chaplin signed his new deal. But hopefully that we don't get that annoyingness where we're like, we just finished and then boom. Of course, we do videos and other podcasts anyway, but you want it to happen maybe a day later, so it's not too thing me. But anyway, enough of that. Bono, your thoughts? What do you reckon? What's next on your agenda in terms of the next player you'd like us to sign?
Well, there's nobody specific by name. Obviously, it's the people that have been linked to us, they're all decent players. And I think our squad is now at the stage where we only really want to be signing people to make the team better rather than the squad better. However, since we started this recording, as you touched upon earlier, Ross, the usual trusted outlets, including the East Anglia Daily Times head football writer Stuart Watson, have said that we are showing interest in Craig Cathcart, the 34-year-old Northern Irish international. Obviously, at that age and that experience, I think he came through. Did he come through the Man U Academy? Possibly. I can't remember. Yeah. I think he looks set to kind of step into the Richard Keogh role of experienced, hairy-assed warhorse that Keogh was. I'm a bit gutted that Richard Keogh left. Actually, I think he could have. I think he could have stuck around potentially, but we don't know what he's.
I was thumbsing out about Man United Academy. I thought you were.
Yeah. I thought he. Yeah. No, that's good. I wasn't going mad, but yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? Because this time of year there are so many links. There's so much speculation. It's very, very hard to see the wood. Is the phrase the wood through the trees or the wood from the trees? Because I'm a right malaprop when it comes to things like that.
I thought it was the wood for the trees.
Oh,
let us know in the comments down below.
Listeners,
Google will help.
Yeah, blimey. But yeah, it's very, very frustrating. But obviously, there's sources that you trust, and then obviously there's what?
It's for
wood for the trees. No, shut the front door. Okay. Well, no. Every day, even in your 40s, every day is a school day. And Matthew, I thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank the Collins Dictionary.
Anywho, yeah. I'm still going to say wood from the trees, though, aren't I? Because, buddy, I've been saying it for flipping 4 decades. But, anyway, Ross, let's get back to the point. Yes. We're going to leave you with a lot of editing, aren't we? All filler, no killer. I think we will go experienced defender. Obviously, we've loaned out Corey and Darber for his 58th loan spell. I think, like you've alluded to, Ross, previously, the writing's on the wall for him, which is a shame because he has showed promise. I think we're going to keep Elkan, as he's called in Indonesia. I think we're going to keep him, maybe to have the Cam Humphreys kind of almost like a trainee work experience, have him around the first team squad, traveling to games type scenario. I think we're going to have him around. I really don't see, obviously we've just got promoted from League One, and it's quite hard to gauge where we stand, isn't it, in terms of how good this team is in the field that we're now in. I think there's a lot of people thinking and hoping, like we all do, we're going to have another absolutely fantastic barnstorming season and we get double promotion. I don't know what the odds are. I obviously think that's very unlikely, and I hope this doesn't age well, me saying this. But it's very, very hard to gauge how good we are, isn't it? Look at, when those fixtures came out, in previous years in League One, it was, oh yeah, we'll beat them, we'll score 10 against them, blah, blah, blah. This season is so hard to call, isn't it? You're not struggling to see where we would win, but there's so many teams that are in, I was going to say transmission. That's not the right word. Help me out, Wazza. There's so many teams in transition.
There you go.
Transition, not transmission.
I love how you went to Wazza, not me, but I think that was the correct decision.
I thought you were researching something. I thought you were about to sound that the klaxon. Because breaking news, Ipswich Town have signed 24-year-old Icelandic international. In fact, no, we haven't. I'd love you to say an Icelandic international's name, Ross. We were linked with a Bulgarian player, weren't we? Is it Georgi Rusev or something like that?
Something like that, but yeah.
I think that's another rumor that's come from some Twitter troll account with 12 followers that everybody's.
They just put a random generator of players. Some people, I think that's what they do sometimes. It's a random generator. Like, here's some random players, and let's just see and go. Let's link this player to that club, and I think that's probably. But you never know. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, the thing to remember, boys and girls, is that when people like Stuart Watson and all the other decent Ipswich Town outlets start talking about, we've been linked, it's serious, because that those people are getting their links from genuine sources and not matey boy that works down the pub whose mate works next door and has seen something through a window from the AXA building or something like that. But
it's always Cop Doc Tesco. You've always seen whoever it is in Cop Doc Tesco buying a meal deal. Yeah, that's the go-to, isn't it?
Pretty well.
Walter, if you were in Cop Doc Tesco's, what would your meal deal choice be?
Ooh, put you on the spot there.
If you need some time to think about it, then Ross can answer.
No. I think I can't answer. I'm pretty sure Tesco used to do. I haven't been to Tesco for a while, but Southern Fried Chicken wrap. That was always a winner. Pepsi Max Cherry for the drink, and I'd go with a bag of ready salted hula hoops. Man.
Question about the hula hoops: do you put them on your fingers and eat them?
I mean, not for a while, but it would add some more fun to my day. So I might start doing it again.
I'm going to buy you some. Ross, what's your meal deal of choice, my friend?
Sometimes I do go for a pasta, pasta box thing. But sometimes I don't know. But sometimes
you are of that extraction.
Yeah, but I feel I don't know. You get more out of that, maybe.
I'll do like a wrap. Money pasta is the way.
Yeah, I do like a wrap though. So yeah, and sometimes I go healthy though. Sometimes this is crazy because you can do any other like snack, but sometimes I do pick some of the fruit sometimes, or one of those smoothie drinks, because those smoothie drinks by themselves are like £3. So I thought I might as well get it, and then crisp of any kind I don't mind, but it varies. I don't have a set one. I just change it up every time, but they're solid choice. But they're getting more expensive now. These meal deals, aren't they? The price has gone up. But that's another story for another day. Well, boys, we're nearly at the end of the podcast here. We are getting nearly to an hour, but it's been a good pod. Sorry, were you wanting to chat more?
He wanted you to ask him about his meal deal, Ross.
Oh,
call yourself a host. Come on, man.
Sorry, the host with the most. Maybe I just didn't care. Maybe I don't even care. But as you asked the question, and I feel very rude, Bono, your meal deal.
I haven't got a Tesco meal deal for years. The choice for ethical plant-based merchants like me in the Tesco's, particularly in Suffolk, is not great. However, obviously I work in London and there are Morrison's. They do falafel salad, which is good. The drink would be a nice kombucha, which is fermented tea. And then you can get like a samosa or like a side of more falafel. And yeah, the Morrison's meal deals. There's a very nice Morrison's in Canning Town, which is fantastic. Yeah. Thanks for asking. Glad you're interested.
It's fine. I'm sorry. I feel really bad.
That's okay. It's not for everyone, Ross, is it? This hosting thing?
No, it isn't. No. I try my best, but there we go. But my best presenting is the strike, isn't it? So let's move on to that. We are back with a strike to end the podcast. Wazza and Bono go head-to-head to be crowned king of the strike this week. As always, ladies and gentlemen, at home, play, get involved, get your pens and paper at the ready. 4 questions plus tiebreaker as standard. Let's get started. Question 1 is on Rakeem Harper. As we spoke about him earlier, of course, departed town, joined Burton. Now, can you, and Bono may have the advantage here, but you may like squad numbers as well, but what was Rakeem Harper's final squad number at town? Was it 12, 16, or 22? So his first squad number, of course, was 4, I think.
You're right, Ross. I don't care about squad numbers. It's just a number on the back of somebody's shirt.
Oh, Bono, don't. No, you're going to start Bono now. So many other people. Don't react. You're right, Bono.
I felt bad because I took the rise out of Speedway, and I've regretted it. And I've even been looking at when I can go to see Ipswich Widges
That's good luck.
with Rosa. I'm now reconsidering that stance.
In that sport, the number on the back of your jersey actually matters. It depends where you ride in the thing.
You've changed.
Anywho,
I haven't. I've never cared about squad numbers.
let's find out Raheem Harper's last squad number. What do you reckon, boys?
I've gone 2022. I don't know if you can see that there, Rossi.
Yes. Bono's gone 16 for the audio listeners.
He'll
The
be
correct
right.
answer is 16. So Bono does get the point. Question 2 is on the boy, the new signing, Jack Taylor. Man, that looks like a footballer with the tattoos in the haircut. How many goals did Jack Taylor score for Posh in 138 games? Of course. So if you get it bang on, you get double the points. If you get closest, you get a point. So
Not that it really
everyone-
helps, Ross. Is this all comps?
Yes.
Don't know why I asked. It doesn't help me at all.
No, it doesn't actually. It may help in terms of but no, it doesn't help. Depends how closely you looked at stories when we signed, because I'm sure that would have been
I had his stats for last season in my head.
okay. You can work with that because I think that was a good season for him scoring goals. So depends if you think he scored more goals throughout his other seasons because he was at Posh for 5 seasons, wasn't he? I think so, 5 seasons. All right, then. A couple more seconds. All right.
I've changed my number 3 times.
Oh, never do that sometimes.
Oh.
But we'll see. We'll see if he'll regret it. What do you reckon then? Let us know.
I've gone with 31 on the corner of the page there.
Okay. 39 Bono's gone for. Well, I want to know then, what was your 2 other options?
21 and 24.
Well, you are closest, and you won't regret changing number because you could have got it bang on because it's 22. So
I thought 5 seasons. I thought average 6 goals a season and then add 1.
yeah, but you are the closest. But yeah, you could have got bang on nearish. But so it's 1-1. Going into question 3, and question 3 is on Paul Anderson. I did an interview with him, of course, recently, but also it's his birthday this week and this month. So
Happy birthday.
happy birthday to good old Paul. And check out my chat with him. Really good fella. He's got a better beard than me. Very good beard indeed. But yeah, he scored on his Portman Road debut, boys. But against which team? Was it Birmingham, Leicester, or Millwall? And you'll know this question, the answer to this question, if you did listen to my interview with him or read the story with him. That was a week ago, and I'm sure a lot of other things have happened in your life. So this probably stat is probably out of your mind now. But you never know. You never know. What do you reckon then? It was a win. He was saying on the chat, little spoiler for the chat, he said he didn't really celebrate the goal because he thought it was an own goal, like a blatant own goal. But it got chalked down as his goal. So yeah, what do you reckon then?
I'm with Birmingham City.
Birmingham, okay.
I've got Millwall.
He's got Millwall. Of course, we'll be going to Birmingham and Millwall and Leicester actually this season in the Championship.
All 3.
The correct answer is Millwall.
All right.
Makes it 2-1. Going into the final question. And it's on good old Frank Nublay Clack. Of course, been back training with the Blues. With, of course, Town under 21s because he lives basically just around the corner. So I think he just went, John McGrill, you're my old gaffer. I fancy it. You fancy it. Happy days. And I thought, perfect question for the strike. Now, his middle name is the same as which former Town player? So his middle name is basically the same as one of these 3 former Town players, if that makes sense. Of course. I'll give you the 3 options anyway, and you'll get what I'm thinking about here. So Frank Nubel's middle name, is it Herman, Marcus, or Tony? So as you can see there, Herman Ariderson, Marcus Stewart, Tony Mowbray.
Okay.
That's how I was trying to word it. Hopefully that makes sense now. Hopefully it does. So is it Herman Newble, Frank Marcus Newble, or Frank Tony Newble.
When you speak to him, are you going to ask him A, how to pronounce his name properly,
Yes.
and B, what's clack about with the 4 in the middle?
Yes.
I like that.
I think there's something about his uncle or something. I remember reading an article. I think one of the Chris Brammer, former Town reporter, before I think Andy replaced him. And I think there was a question that got asked, and I did read the article about uncle. But I'll find out more. Hopefully, I'll be chatting with Frank at some stage to talk about him training with the Town under-21s, but also his Town career as a whole. But I thought it's a perfect question, and I want to know if Wazza or Bono are gonna. Who's gonna? Well, Wazza needs to get this point to go to his tiebreaker. We'll see. Let's see. What do you reckon, then, boys?
Marcus, gone down the middle.
I've chosen Marcus as well.
Ooh. And you're both wrong. He's actually Herman. He's actually Herman. So
I thought about going Herman. That was quite rogue, but
yeah. Of course, Herman spells it with the 2 N's, but as you can see there, Frank with only one N. Sorry. So yeah, Bono, you have won, my friend. But as always, tiebreaker gamble. Is he going to do it?
Yeah, let's do it. You only live once. Live in La Vida Loca.
Love it. Well, final tiebreaker is on a man who's having his birthday this week as well, and he's possibly going to be on the bench for Millwall when we play them, because that's currently his role now. But Bartosz Białkowski, the Polish keeper, the man with another great beard. How many clean sheets did he keep in 178 games for Town? So, Wazza, if you can get a bang on, you are the champion of the right this week. But of course, very, very tricky to get a bang on, definitely.
yeah.
With this
I
question.
mean,
Player of the Year 3 years in a row. But then he was a good goalkeeper, of course, did some unbelievable saves. But he also was part of a team, definitely in these later times at Town, where we were rubbish and relegation. And we weren't like rubbish, but we weren't great, were we? Sometimes. Definitely defensively. Even though we had the Mick McCarthy teams where it used to be like 1-0, job done, or 0-0. Every point's a prisoner. But did he get how many clean sheets? 178 games. Bono, what do you reckon? As Wazza has a little thinky think?
I've written mine down as well.
Oh,
I've written a random number down. So
that's fine. Bono, you quickly yours first, and then we'll have a little drum roll for Wazza.
Well, it's a great question, and it's one I thank you for asking me. I think it's 47.
Ooh, okay. 47. Okay. Wazza, what do you reckon, my friend?
I've gone 57.
Oh, 57.
So we're 10 apart.
10 apart. The correct answer is not Wazza's. And it's not Bono's. 41 is the correct answer. So there we go. There we go. So, Bono, you have won this week, but a good effort from Wazza. As always, a speech from the winner.
Thanks, boys. It's been really, really enjoyable, and it's been great being back on this fantastic podcast that we have here. I want to dedicate this to my friend Nick in Switzerland out there. It is in his luxury canton out there. So, Nick, this is for you. I hope you're listening. And Nick came to the last game of the season and met a few of the boys. He's a good old boy. I used to go with him and his brother to the Anglia Italian Cup games.
Love it.
Back in the day. When we saw
Sorry, I'm
No. Go on. One of these days.
I want to do maybe, and this could be stolen now from somebody. You never know. But I love to do like a mini documentary on those games, like maybe, and go to maybe those grounds, in Italy, and sort of do like a Anglia Italian Cup sort of like throwback sort of thing.
I can imagine you going to Heathy saying, "Big dog, I've got an idea. Me and I don't know, Tony Southgate or another close personal friend. We're going to go to Italy, and we're going to visit Salernitana, Brescia, Ancona, and who's the other team? I can't remember the other team. Reggiana, yeah. Reggiana, because we did it for 2 seasons. I think, did we do it 2 seasons, 93, 94 and 94, 95? Because we lost against Port Vale, didn't we? at home, which kind of blows the whole "never lost at home" thing.
Yeah.
We won't mention the Anglo-Italian Cup because it's
No.
not really a proper competition. But when you're like 12 or 13, like I was, and you're in the family enclosure and you're going with all your mates on a school night under the lights. I remember, it's funny, when we played Salernitana, the week before, I think they beat AC Milan in the Coppa Italia, and then we beat them. And what does that mean? Ipswich Town are better than AC Milan. It was brilliant. I didn't know this at the time, but I witnessed Andrea Pirlo make his debut, and also his manager was Carlo Ancelotti. And I've still got my autograph book. I've got Igor Simyatenkov, who was with Russia at the '94 World Cup in the United States. So, it was fantastic. And I think there is an article in East Anglian, which followed some people out to Italy, and I think there's some stories about Sheepshanks buying everybody a beer in Brescia or Foggia, somewhere like that. I love Italian football. I grew up with Football Italia and James Richardson, and with his pink newspaper and espresso. That's what you need to do. You need to recreate all that, Ross. But I'll come with you. I'll bunk off work for a week. We'll do it.
But now, watch your space. Maybe something I can work on. We can work on, and let us know if you like to see that sort of stuff. Well, boys, it's been another great pods. We're over an hour now, but hopefully this will get you ready for your week ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Was great to have you back. Any other business from yourself, my friend?
Just to say that the ITFC Foundation have been doing some really good work recently. On Tuesday night, we had a game down on the sort of side pitches at Portman Road for the LGBTQ plus community and allies, which I think was a really good evening, and nice to see the club sort of throwing their weight behind that sort of thing, especially during Pride Month. It was really nice. At the end of the session, there was a sort of 17-year-old lad that was playing, and he said that was the first time he'd felt sort of accepted in a football setting. So, I think it's just a really nice thing for the club to do, and hopefully everyone sort of feels welcome coming down to watch Ipswich Town come August, because we are an inclusive club, we're a community club, and we want everyone to feel like they have a home down at Portman Road. So hopefully that's a small thing that can go a long way.
Definitely, mate. Yeah, great to mention that. And of course, shout out to Francine at Rainbow Tractors. Great work they do there, and great the foundation. The foundation have been doing some great stuff, definitely, since it's been relaunched. And every time I just hear great stories, and it's great to hear. So thanks for mentioning that, Wazza. Any other business before you make your leave?
Yeah, no, it was just a really nice evening. It's every Tuesday, 6 till 7. So I think it's pretty much an open gate. So
bring on. Yeah. Well,
I mentioned Pirlo. He's my favourite ever player, and I'd like to say that I was just as good on that pitch on Tuesday night, but I was probably more, Jack Ainsley than Andrea Pirlo. But
Oh, poor Jack. He was on holiday, so he missed the Felixstowe game.
He did.
But yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. But good shout out there. Tuesdays 6, 7. Is that Portman Road? The Portman Road pitch?
Yeah, on the side where the fan zone is.
Nice one. Good. Nice one. Bono, over to you, my friend. Any other business?
No, not really. Obviously, echo what Matt said about the foundation, all the work they're doing. But no, it's just, football's back, baby. Kits, squad numbers, signings, the new plastic/real grass pitch. I tried to have a little peek in Planet Blue, but they taped the curtains shut because I think somebody had moved the chairs and had a little. But it's all that excitement is starting to grow, isn't it?
Indeed, my friend. Indeed. Well, Bono, Wazza, thanks for joining me. Thanks everyone for listening. Time to do my outro. Normally it's a shambles, so bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I won't go on too much. Of course, shout out to our sponsors, Manscaped. Use the code KOA. You get 20% off and free delivery. And of course, Ginger Pickle. Shout out to Tony Southgate and the team. SEO needs, Google ads, marketing, all that sort of stuff. They're the ginger pickle that you want your pickle gingered. So check them out. As always, follow us on all our socials. Bono was his social. Kings of Anglia on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all that sort of stuff. Of course, the Blues have got another preseason game, as the boys mentioned earlier, as they head down the Market to take on Maidenhead United before they head off to Austria for training and all that sort of stuff. I hope you all have a good week. We're back for another flagship podcast in the week. Heafy's back, so he'll be back in the host chair. But once again, thanks for listening. Bye for now.